Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Kats Consultants CHIROpulse Podcast. We're so glad that you're joining us today. And here in our separate studios, if you will, I've got Marisa Mateja, who's our CA guru and one of our lead consultants. And we've got Dr. Kats with us today. David, how are you?
Doing great. How about you?
I'm doing well. It's good to see you. So I appreciate you joining us. You know, since you're here today, I think it'd be interesting to talk a little bit about how the chiropractic profession has changed over the years from a business standpoint, from running our practices.
Okay. Interestingly enough, when I got into practice, it was all cash, and we charged $8 an adjustment. So that's how long ago it was, But then it went to all insurance, and there was an era when you could bill insurance anything you wanted to bill them, and they pretty much paid for it. And then it came in managed care. And now I see a move more toward more cash, either all cash practice or a lot cash practice.
Yeah.
And I think that each one of those had their benefit. When we went to insurance, it really helped for a long time. Managed care didn't help us so much, but moving back to cash, I think is going to help us quite a bit. So that's the first thing I see. I have another thing that I wanted to mention, though, that I really see. When we first started in chiropractic, everything was just the adjustment and a little therapy. And today, the biggest thing I see in a change in chiropractic is now the chiropractors that are doing well are doing more things. And it hasn't got anything to do with straight and mixer. It's just, they're providing vitamins, they're providing minerals, they're providing spinal decompression. I'm doing spinal decompression on someone right now that I don't know where we would be without that spinal decompression. And so we find, and I know you're aware of this as much as I am because you're the ones that have the company, but we find that the people that have the most revenue centers have the most income by and large, and I have to feel they help the most patients too.
Yeah, that diversification I think is important today. And here as chiropractors for 125 years, we've preached this idea of overall health, and I think we've kind of finally reached the point where patients, the community, people in general, really are starting to understand that message, and that's what we do. And I think that has led to such a massive growth in chiropractic practices, at least the ones that we work with, over the last several years. So it's really been fun to watch. And but you're right, that diversification in your practice not only opens up more treatment opportunities, but it opens up more conversations with patients and just more opportunity in general.
It's our part to referral, but the place that I probably saw that the most clearly, and I'm not just saying this because you're on here, but probably the place I saw this most clearly was in your last practice. When you walked into the office, you had all kinds of well-displayed vitamins and minerals. You had all kinds of laser. You had 4 different lasers. You had a cervical pillow and an orthopedic supply that was, it was huge. It was probably 8 by 10 shelves of 8 by 10 that has just full of orthopedic supplies. You had a big rehab center. You had all the different things. And right now, to be good, you have to kind of be all things to all people.
And I think something to add into that, and that's something that we've talked about with other clients, is I think the pandemic has changed things a little bit as well for our practices. And what you're saying right there, the all-encompassing and adding in services and different supplies and different things patients can purchase from us eliminates their stop at other places. It eliminates them going elsewhere to get things. If they are getting out and about and coming to our clinics, it's because they feel that we're safe and it's a good environment to be in. So it's nice to have kind of a one-stop shop for them. It's nice to expand those things out to really help to cover all their needs.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And I think if your messaging is correct right now, people in your community are going to understand more about the fact that we're treating healthy people for the most part, and the sick people are not in our clinics, which just by virtue of that helps us to be a little safer. It's not a preventative thing by any means, but by and large, I think that helps give people the perception that our clinics are a little bit safer. So there really is a true advantage, I think, there in the marketplace right now. So you're right, Marisa.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So, Dr. Kats, you started in consulting in 1984. Is that correct?
1982.
82. That's right. Tell us what coaching was like. What was consulting like back then?
We don't have enough time to tell you all that, but I have to tell you, I was a client before I was a consultant. I was a client in a management group, and he isn't practicing anymore. His name was Charlie Ward, but he didn't have a program anymore. He's an older person now. But this was the interesting thing. Here's what management was: seminars. That's all it was seminars. You didn't have any Tuesday calls. You didn't have any elite. You didn't have any consultations. You didn't have any phone consulting. I remember I called him one time when I was a client for a year and a half. I called him one time in that first year, and he never returned my call. And I remember thinking, well, it must not have been that important. He didn't return my call. So that's it. Now fast forward. And then we slowly started adding things. Now fast forward for today. I was thinking about this the other day, and I thought, really, you have to have, in Kats management, we have to have a program that just explains our program. It's got to be pushed onto people because they don't see it if it's just on the website. If it's on the website, they don't ever get to it. But if they come to a meeting like this and we tell them everything we provide, if they used everything, we'd be, first of all, be the cheapest resource in the world. And secondly, they couldn't help but grow. If everybody attended every virtual seminar and not just put it on your computer and had people huddle around it, but had it at home or in the office where you got a big screen TV, you got your popcorn, you're sitting down there, you're talking, and then they had a strategic planning session after that. That alone would make people grow. That's as good as a thing as you can get. And then the virtual the actual seminars, once we get COVID in the rearview mirror, those are great. And here's what I would say. Here's another level. We didn't ever have an upper level like an elite, group. We just everybody's in one room. The doctors, the CAs were all in one room, and you didn't have an elite level. Now you think about this. There's never been a time in Kats Consultants when a person came to that advanced level to those retreats and said, I probably shouldn't have come, it wasn't worth it. 100% of them, 100% of the time will say, I learned more here than I ever thought I was going to. It's just 100%, So there's so many things that they can do like that. I would encourage, in fact, every client that can should join to the highest level they can, because the more you do that, the more you're going to grow. They say if you want something you never had before, you got to do something you never done before. Well, you got to step up to the next level.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. I think some people sometimes are, they look so hard at expenses, kind of like being in the forest. You're surrounded by so many trees, you can't see the forest. Yeah. And they don't realize that it's an investment. It's not an expense. And that investment, whatever it might be, if it grows your practice from where you're at right now, that's a great investment. If I told you to give me $100 and in a year I was going to give you back 1,000 and there was no risk at all, would you do it? Sure. It's like you always say, Dr. Kats, measure the risk. If the risk is small, take the risk.
That's right.
But the great thing about good coaching, good consulting, is that it really helps your practice grow. And it's like any professional athlete will tell you, they didn't get to their level on talent alone. They got there because they had a bevy of coaches along the way that pulled out that talent and taught them how to use it. Mm-hmm. And that's what good coaching does for you.
Yeah, that's right. And one other thing that we have that I think almost virtually every consulting company does not have is we are happy to take the calls. We're happy when they come in. When you get a client come in, you never say, oh, God, I got a client on the phone. It's always, you're excited to hear it. I always look forward to the Tuesday call. There's never a Tuesday that I don't look forward to the Tuesday call. And so they're sitting with people who charge. I have to say that I think you charge less than the average. You could probably go up in price, but they charge less than the average for what you provide. You provide more than anybody else, and you're willing to provide it. And what better combination do you have than that?
Well, yeah, we appreciate that. And, we've been able to develop over the years just so many tools for doctors, whether it be the webinars on Tuesday or the CA webinars. My gosh, we're teaching CAs how to take it not only to the next level, but beyond that. And, of course, we got the traditional live webinars when we can have them. And, the mastermind group, that is just helping doctors not only find their headspace, but explode their practices in ways they never realized could happen. And then I'm myself amazed at all the tools we have on the website. We probably have close to 1,000 training videos on there now, maybe more than that.
I'd say that's probably an understatement at this point.
Yeah, so everything from starting your practice to training your CAs to, how do I hire somebody? So we just give you all the tools that you need to run a business. And then
5 or 6 years ago, clients were always saying, do you have anything for CAs? Do you have anything for CAs?
Mm-hmm.
You ever going to have a seminar for CAs? Do you have anything on the website for CAs? Now we got everything you could ever imagine. And we don't hear that anymore either.
Nope.
You realize that's gone away. So we got a great training for CAs. In fact, they almost have to pick and choose what they're going to show the new CA. There's so much there.
I think that's actually very accurate. Anymore, I hear from clients, oh my goodness, there's so much, to go through, which is not a bad thing when you're looking for something, but it can be overwhelming if you don't have a good plan in place of how to tackle some of that information. So we've tried to organize it a little bit to give doctors an easier path of training for their staff. And we do have the certification that kind of walks them through, which is nice.
Yeah. And I think we've made it really simple. We teach doctors and CAs how to make things more simple, how to take difficult concepts and make them more simple. And we've made the teaching component, the coaching component, if you will, very simple. It's a few minutes every week. Mm-hmm. And if you're willing to spend a few minutes every week to really grow your practice and grow your success and create sustainable strategies for your business, Kats Consultants is something to look at for sure.
It really is.
So the comparison of, just technology being utilized today versus when consulting really started it's just so much different. You're not having to produce as many books, if you will, for people to read through and take home as training tools. I mean, they have training tools at their fingertips now.
Yeah. Remember all the CDs we used to produce, Dr. Kats?
Yeah.
And I was actually going through our library the other day, our actual library the other day, and found a whole bunch of those from like 2002 or something, and I was thumbing through them. And you were teaching at that seminar, and I was teaching at that seminar, and we just everything's so technologically advanced now that everything's now on the computer. In fact, I think we were the first ones to do virtual seminars. We were doing virtual seminars before virtual seminars existed.
That's exactly
we started those probably 4 years ago. So we're always working to try to stay ahead of the curve of change. And
that's exactly right. I remember so well when you did that first virtual seminar. It was when I realized that you had stepped in front of everybody else, as far as consultants and as far as practice growth. But I remember doing it. We did it in your house. That first one we did was actually in your house, and it went over really well. It's kind of like landing on the moon. We didn't know if we were going to make it or not.
Right.
It went over really well. But I remember as we got through that seminar, I thought, you have now walked around the rest of the line of consultants and stepped in front of the rest of the consultants as far as your quality and ability to do stuff. And it's gotten better. It's gotten better, as we go on.
Well, we appreciate that. You gave us big shoes to fill. And I remember back in 1999 when I walked up to you on stage and
was that the
said,
year?
Yeah, actually it was 1998. Yeah. And I said to you, someday I want to be up there with you. And a couple of years later, here we are.
That's right. That's exactly. I remember exactly where you were sitting, and I kneeled when the stage was raised up, and I kneeled down on the stage to talk to you, and that's what you said.
Yep. Yep. And I started teaching with you later that year, and the rest is history, as they say.
Yep.
So, and Marisa, I want to brag on you for just a minute. And I hear this all the time from our doctor members and other people in the industry. Marisa has a skill set that is really second to none, and her skill set is born around how to run and manage a chiropractic clinic for success. Not just manage it for some procedures, not just document a few things, not just on how to collect or how to market. She is the whole picture. And your knowledge base and ability to teach those concepts to other CAs and doctors is just phenomenal. So I personally think you dance around the entire industry when it comes to CA training.
Well, I sure appreciate
and office
that.
management.
I appreciate that very much. I found that while I'm not a chiropractor, this has become a passion for sure in my life, and something that my whole family lives with us, every day. So we absolutely love the industry, and I have found that I just want everyone to succeed out there. We just want to help as many chiropractors and CAs find a lifelong profession out of this. That's the big thing. So I appreciate that.
What you said.
Absolutely.
What you
Yep,
said
absolutely.
makes good consultants, and that's why we are good consultants. I say that collectively and not. Dizzy Dean said it isn't bragging if it's a fact. And I think the reason we're good consultants is this: we're not willing for anybody to fail.
Nope.
If you sign up 10 new clients, you're not willing for 2 of them to fail.
Nope.
All 10 of them got to succeed for us to be successful.
Nobody left behind, and I think that's why our client retention rate is so high. Everybody just stays with us. Yeah. So, and if you're out there listening to this podcast and you're curious about how we help practices and you want to know more, give us a call. Jump on our website, give us a call, shoot us an email. We're happy to talk to you anytime. We don't take on a lot of new clients every month because we want to make sure that we really drill down and work with everybody on an individual basis. So from that standpoint, we're kind of exclusive, but give us a call and find out if what we do can help you build the practice of your dreams.
Yep.
And I appreciate
our website anytime and just hit schedule a consult even. I mean, even
yep,
if you're not a member, that's all you have to do.
Yep, you'll jump right to either Marissa's calendar or my calendar.
Mm-hmm.
We have other coaches as well. There's Dr. Troy Fox and Dr. Patrick Hammond, besides the 3 of us. So yeah, please give us a call anytime. And we appreciate, Dr. Kats, you joining us today.
Yeah.
So it's always good to see you, and I appreciate everybody out there joining our podcast as well. So make sure that you connect with us on Facebook. It's CHIROpulse. We're helping you keep your pulse on the industry so that you can stay on track with all the changes, with all the latest things for managing your practice and your business so that you can find true success. So I'm Dr. Michael Perusich, Marisa Mateja, Dr. David Kats. Thanks for joining the Kats Chiropractic Consultants CHIROpulse Podcast. We'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.